Hello everyone, so in this video I'm going to be cleaning out my pantry and then I'll be giving you a tour of my pantry. Now in this before, my pantry may not look that messy, but as you see, the further down you go, the messier it gets. So I'll start on the top shelf. I take everything off and then I wipe down the shelf, and I like to only work 1 or 2 shelves at a time just so it doesn't get too overwhelming. I stacked everything from the first 2 shelves onto the counter, and I'm going to start by washing out these plastic containers. Now the labels on the front of these containers, I just printed these off of the computer and then I taped them to the front of the container. I decided to pour my oats into this cute Quaker Oats tin that I found when I was cleaning out the pantry. Now I'm going to wipe down the shelves and then organize everything back onto them. This is quite the overwhelming pile of stuff to have to go through. And now the pantry is cleaned out and is organized a little bit better. Up here on these 2 top little shelves, I just have 4 random things like my bundt cake pan. On this first shelf, I have my 2 cereal containers, the sugar container, and the oats tin, and then behind all of that, I have all of my canning jars. On the second shelf, I have my powdered sugar, brown sugar, rice, and then in this last container is all of my cake decorating stuff, and I still didn't print out a label for that container yet. And back there I have a few more canning jars that didn't fit on the top shelf. And I left an empty spot over here because I want to get 1 more of these containers to put here on the shelf. Maybe I'll store like pasta in it or something. This third shelf is for all of my canned goods, and it's really empty right now because I really need to go for groceries. So I'll be going for groceries soon, and then I will fill this shelf up with canned goods. I have a couple on there right now. And in this little blue wire basket, I just keep things like honey and peanut butter. On this 4th shelf, I keep some of my smaller appliances. I had these in a lower cabinet and they weren't very accessible there, so I wanted to move them into the pantry. So I put stuff that was on this shelf into that lower cabinet to make room for them. And then in this basket, I have all of my canning lid jars. And I do want to store a few more things on this shelf in the future. That's why it's a little bit empty right now. On this next shelf, back behind everything, I do have some random things stored that I don't use very often, so I could put them in the back. And then here in the front, I have all of my cookbooks, so they're easily accessible. And over to the right is all of my paper and plastic products like straws, cups, plates. On the next shelf, first I have my big Tupperware containers, and back behind there I have the lids for the Tupperware containers and also 2 ice trays. And then I have my little Tupperware and my little glass dishes for like putting leftovers in or packing stuff in my husband's lunches. And in this little plastic container I have all the lids for those. And back behind there is just some small glass dishes. On this last shelf, first in the back I have like my fancier bowls that I don't use too often, and then in the front I have my stack of metal bowls, like mixing bowls and stuff, and I also have my spaghetti strainer in there. And then back there is my blender, and in the front here is my food processor. And that is my pantry. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure and give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.